The millionaire watched in disbelief as his maid remained eerily composed while armed robber took over. Her next move would stun everyone, leaving the whole world shocked. Before we dive in, take a moment to tell us where you're watching from and what time it is in your part of the world. Also, don't forget to strike that like and subscribe button. A gunshot cracked through the air. Bang! The chandelier rattled violently, sending dust and debris tumbling down. The hall erupted in screams. Children wailed. Men in suits hit the floor, hands covering their heads. Down! Everyone down! A masked robber shouted, waving his pistol. His voice was rough, commanding. On your knees, hands up. Another barked, his gun aimed straight at the millionaire in the crisp white suit. The millionaire's face went pale. He raised trembling hands, his voice shaky. Please take whatever you want. Shut up, the robber growled, pushing the barrel of the gun close to his forehead. We're taking it all, rich boy. Keep quiet or you'll be the first to bleed. The wife in red screamed, clutching her 3 children. Don't hurt them. Please don't hurt them. Quiet, lady. A gun swung toward her. One more sound and I'll shoot right beside you. The children cried harder, their sobs cutting through the madness. Then, in the midst of the chaos, an unexpected calm settled. The maid. Slowly, she stepped forward, her hands raised, eyes steady on the armed men. No shaking, no tears, just unwavering composure. One of the robbers took notice. You on the floor now? She shook her head once, her voice firm. The children are behind me. You don't want them screaming louder. What did you say? The robber's finger twitched, ready to fire. You heard me. Her voice was unnervingly calm. Lower your gun. You're scaring them more than you're scaring me. The robber hesitated, just for a moment, but his mask concealed any sign of doubt. Move her, the leader snapped. She's in the way. The millionaire's wife whimpered, pulling her children closer. Please just do what they say. But the maid didn't budge. She stood tall, her palms open, her gaze unwavering. Jewelry, money, phones? The leader barked, pacing like a predator. He thrust the sack at a guest. Fill it now. Hands trembled as watches, rings, and wallets clattered into the bag. A man dropped his phone, and another robber slapped him hard across the face. Faster. Move it, you rats. The millionaire fumbled with his gold watch, nearly dropping it. Sweat poured down his face, his hands shaking. Hurry it up, a gun pressed against his temple. I'm trying, he stammered, slipping it off. Please don't. Quiet. The robbers barked at every breath, at every movement. Their voices cracked through the room like whips, but the maid's voice cut through it all, low but clear. You shout because you're afraid, she said, her tone icy. Every head snapped toward her. The leader stormed toward. You're afraid, she repeated, unfazed. Your finger jerks every time you scream. Afraid men make mistakes. Mistakes get people killed. Keep your hands steady. Keep your voice down. You don't want to fire. The robber's hand twitched and the gun pressed against her forehead. Say that again, he hissed. Her voice didn't falter. You don't want to fire. The millionaire's stomach turned. Please don't hurt her. Shut your mouth. The leader swung the gun back toward him. You speak when I tell you to speak. The children's cries grew louder, a wave of panic flooding the room. One robber barked, "Make them stop." The wife trembled, her voice barely audible, "I can't." And then the maid's voice sliced through the chaos like a knife. Enough. The room fell silent, even the children's sobs quieted at her commanding tone. You came here for money, not lives, she said, each word measured, deliberate. If you start firing, the police won't stop until they find you. If you stay calm, you walk out and everyone survives. Choose your story. The leader's breath was heavy, ragged. The other robbers exchanged uneasy glances. One of them muttered, "Boss, she's stalling. Shut her up." The leader snapped, his voice faltering. The maid stood firm, unmoving. They're already afraid of you. You don't need to scream. You don't need to point your gun at children. They see you. They'll remember. Don't let them remember you as killers. The millionaire sat motionless, his heart racing in his chest. He couldn't wrap his mind around it. This was the woman who had always been quiet, polishing floors, serving meals with a soft smile. And now here she was standing tall, staring down death with unwavering calm. One of the robbers muttered under his breath, "She's crazy." The leader growled, his grip on the gun tightening against her skin. "Or she's hiding something." The room remained frozen, every pair of eyes fixed on her. The maid's palms stayed raised, calm and steady. The millionaire whispered to himself, "Who are you?" Because in that moment she wasn't just a maid. She was the only one in the room who wasn't enslaved by fear. The gun pressed so hard against her forehead that a faint red mark began to form. Still, the maid didn't flinch. The millionaire gripped the armrest, sweat dripping down his face. He wanted to shout, to plead for her, but his throat was sealed tight by fear. The wife clutched her children tightly, her voice trembling as she whispered desperate prayers. "Boss, we're out of time," one of the robbers growled. "The cops will be here any second." "Shut up," the leader barked, his voice strained with frustration. The maid tilted her head slightly, her voice calm but unwavering. "He's right. You're wasting time." The leader's body tensed. "What did you say?" "You're wasting time," she repeated, unshaken. "Every second you argue, every second you shout, the police get closer. You came for money. Leave with it. That's your only chance." The robber's hand twitched. "Don't test me." "I'm not testing you," she said evenly, locking eyes with him. "I'm warning you. Mistakes cost lives, and I don't think you came here to become murderers." The room fell deathly quiet, save for the children's soft sniffling. At last the leader let out a low growl. "Tie them up. All of them. We'll grab what we can and leave." The other robbers moved quickly, yanking the millionaire from the sofa. "On your knees," one shouted. Another grabbed the wife by the arm, pulling her forward. The children cried out in fear. "Please don't hurt them," the millionaire gasped. Suddenly the maid stepped forward. "Stop." The single word cut through the tension like a sharp blade. Even the robbers froze. Her voice was commanding, firm. "Tie the adults if you must, but you don't touch the children. Not one finger." The leader turned on her, his eyes dark with anger. "Or what?" Her gaze never wavered. "Or you'll regret it." The millionaire blinked in disbelief. He'd never heard such authority in her tone. It wasn't a plea, it was a threat. The robbers hesitated. One murmured, "Boss, she's not scared." The leader snarled and grabbed her arm, spinning her toward him. "Who are you?" Her eyes locked with his, cold and unflinching. The wrong person to threaten. And in the blink of an eye, she moved. Faster than anyone could react. Her elbows slammed into his wrist with a force that sent the gun flying from his hand. The gun clattered to the floor. Before anyone could react, she twisted the leader's arm behind his back, forcing him to the ground. The hall was filled with gasps of disbelief. "Get her!" one of the robbers shouted, swinging his weapon, but the maid was already on the move. She ducked low, snatched the fallen gun, and in a single fluid motion, disarmed the second robber, sending his weapon skidding across the floor. A sharp crack rang out as her palm slammed into his jaw. He crumpled like a rag doll. The millionaire's eyes widened. "She's trained." The third robber froze, his gun trembling in his grip. The maid aimed her weapon straight at him, her posture poised and professional. "Drop it," she ordered, her voice steady. Though his mask hid his face, his shaking hands betrayed him. "I said drop it." With a metallic thud, the gun fell to the ground. The room went deathly quiet. Every guest, every child held their breath, frozen in place. The woman they had once thought of as just a maid now stood tall, chest rising and falling, her weapon steady in hand. The leader groaned beneath her, his arm twisted painfully. She pressed the barrel to the back of his head. "You came here thinking this house was easy pickings," she said, her voice icy. "But you forgot one thing. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous." The millionaire finally found his voice. How did you?" She didn't even glance at him. Later, the distant wail of sirens broke the tension. The robber's eyes widened. "Police!" one hissed, panic creeping into his voice. "On your knees," the maid's voice cut through sharply. "Hands behind your heads. Now." For the first time, the robbers obeyed. Minutes later, the officers stormed into the hall. They found the robbers lined up on the floor, weapons scattered, the guests trembling but alive. And in the center stood the maid, still holding the gun, as calm and unshaken as stone. The chief officer looked at her, eyes narrowing. "Who restrained them?" The millionaire's lips parted. She did." Gasps rippled through the room. The officer raised an eyebrow. "Name?" The maid lowered the weapon and finally exhaled. "Maya." When the chaos finally quieted, the millionaire approached her, his hands still trembling. "Maya, who are you?" She met his gaze, her eyes calm and unwavering. "I was military once, then I chose a quieter life. But some habits never fade." The millionaire swallowed hard, his voice shaky. You saved us. You saved my children." His voice cracked. "I'll never forget this." Maya shook her head slightly. "Don't thank me. Just remember, courage doesn't come from wealth. It comes from standing firm when fear tries to take over." The children, their faces still streaked with tears, ran to her and clung to her apron. "You weren't scared," the youngest whispered, their voice tiny. Maya crouched down, gently brushing their hair with her hand. "I was scared," she admitted softly. "But I didn't let it control me. That's the difference." The millionaire looked at her as if seeing her for the first time. She was no longer just a maid to him. She was the reason his family was alive. As the police led the robbers away, the story began to spread. How a maid, calm and resolute in the face of death, had done what no one else dared. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And we'd love to hear from you. Where in the world are you watching from? Drop a comment below. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.